Record ka na. Okay, so we'll begin our second meeting. For CHE 291, let's go to the course content. We're finished with the introduction part, introduction to process integration. So that was last week. And then the last week we also we started the topic on process integration for water minimization. And then we started with topic 2A, which is data extraction. Today, let's review first data extraction. Uh, okay. Data extraction. So I'm sharing my screen on data extraction. Can you see it? Unit 1, data
Yes
extraction.
po.
Okay. So last week, basically, after the introduction, um, so we discussed the main concept of water minimization, the types of water using processes, main heuristics for water minimization. And we had an example. So by the way, this is uh, strategies for water conservation, di ba? We have two, the reuse and recycle, or regeneration with reuse and regeneration recycle. And then for this example, um, we identified the water sources and the water sinks. So remember, ano yung water sources natin? So itong mga vertical lines here. Then the water sinks what are the operations that require water, which are the scrubber and the boiler. Well, the water sources discharge wastewater. So for heuristic 1, remember, so uh, heuristic 1 is to keep material sources segregated to maximize their recovery potential. Because some of the sources actually have low impurities. Like, for example, this bottom source, it has 0 ppm. And also, for example, this off-gas condensate has 14 ppm. But when we mix the sources together, of course, um, the the more the impurities from the other sources increases the total impurity of the mixture. Yeah. So the heuristic 1, we should segregate the sources to maximize their potential. Since we have sources that have lower impurities. Okay, next. Okay, for heuristics 2 and 3, minimize flow rate for a sink to reduce the overall freshwater resource intake. Like for this one, for the scrubber, the flow rate operates between 5.8 to 6.2. So if we operate more than 6.2 kilograms per second, flooding may occur. Okay, but instead of operating in the middle, we just choose the smallest, or the minimum flow rate, which is 5.8, to reduce the overall fresh resource intake. Okay. And then the third heuristic is to maximize inlet concentration for a sink to maximize material recovery. Wait lang. Yeah, for a sink, so pareho. So this one, the concentration varies between 0 to 10 ppm. Balikan natin tong slide. For the scrubber, ayan. So 0 to 10 ppm, we choose 10 ppm to maximize the recovery of water. Yan. Then we had um, an exercise wherein you identified the water sinks and the water sources. So, not correct mo yung exercise na to last week. So, today, we will go to topic 2B. Hold on, I'll open topic 2B. Okay, can you see the slide now? Unit 2 graphical targeting technique for direct reuse and recycle.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on lang wait.
Yes po.
Okay. So today we will proceed with graphical targeting technique for direct reuse and recycle. So nagre-record na, 'di ba? Um,
Opo.
okay, so when we talk about direct reuse, it means waste from one process is used again in another process. Like what we discussed last time, 'di ba? So waste from process 1 is being reused in process 2. Or yeah, that's reuse. And then for recycle, when we talk about recycle, the waste is rechanneled back to the same process again. And for our discussion, we will focus on these two types of strategies, the direct reuse and recycle. So direct means, unlike this one, there's a regeneration step. So this is not the focus of our discussion. So we'll just focus on direct reuse and recycle. Now, we can represent the direct reuse and recycle in a single source of sink and source structure on the as shown in the figure. So as you can see, the sources are on the left hand side and the sinks are on the right hand side. So these are the sources are the wastewater that we want to reuse or recycle to the units that require water on the right hand side. Um, so if we have like water sources that we want to directly use and recycle, then we can send them. Okay, send them to the sinks on the right hand side. So what do you notice about this structure? So all of the sources are connected to all of the sinks, right? For example, this one connected to all of the sinks. The second source is connected to all of the sinks. And this is called the superstructure. Superstructure because it's the most complete representation of all the possible pathways between the sources and the sink. Okay. However, the model will determine for us which of the source will contain a flow rate. Okay, so some of these arrows right here will have zero flow rate, which means there's no connection between that source and that sink. But for the superstructure, we want to represent the every possible pathway. So that's why there are connections. But note that in our solution, the optimized solution, um, the model may have uh flow rates that have zero values. So that means there's no connection between the two. Okay, next. So this is the material recovery pinch diagram technique. It has 4 steps. So step 1, we arrange the processings in ascending order of their quality levels. Um, Quality levels meaning the level of the impurity from lowest to highest. So we're talking about water here now, so water networks. And we do the same for process sources. We arrange the process orders and the process sources in ascending or quality. In step 2, um, we calculate the maximum load acceptable by the sinks and the load processed by the sources. So this is the formula to calculate Okay. The first is for the sources. Okay. And then the second, sorry, the first is for the sinks, and then the second is for the source. So, ano yung MS M sub SK J? So, this is the impurity mass flow rate for sink J. Okay. And then F sub SKJ is the water flow rate. Okay, for that sink J. And Q is the impurity concentration. So, for example, the unit of our water flow rate is kilograms per second, and the impurity is in ppm. So, ppm means we can express it as milligram per kilogram, right? So, magka-cancel out yung kilogram at saka magka-cancel out yung kilogram, the numerator here and the denominator sa Q to give us a final unit of milligram per second. So that's the load acceptable by the sink. So do the same for the calculate for the load possessed. So acceptable yung sa sink, and then for the sources, the load possessed by the sources. Okay? For step 3, we plot the um, processing's in load versus the flow rate diagram I- in in an order of ascending order of their quality levels to form the sync composite curve. So later we'll have a demonstration. Medyo mahirap ma-imagine with just the words. So this would form the sync composite curve, and then the individual sync segments are connected by linking the tail of an earlier segment to the arrowhead of the latter. We'll demonstrate it later. Okay. And then for step 4 pala. Step 3 is repeated for all the process sources. So this time for the sources to form the source composite curve on the same load versus flow rate diagram. Okay? Yan. So para ma-imagine mo, this is how the material recovery pinch diagram looks like. The left-hand side is for material recovery pinch diagram when we have a pure fresh source. For example, if we assume that the fresh water is no impurity, we use the diagram on the left-hand side. Um, so on the right-hand side, we have an impure fresh locus. Okay, so this is the case where when we use the material recovery diagram for an impure fresh source. Okay. So, uh, na-imagine mo ba, pag dito meron tayong source na wala siyang impurity, pero pag dito, we don't have a choice. So diagram on the right, we don't have a choice because our fr- fresh quote-unquote source is impure. Yung ano natin, yung water source natin. Okay? Yung freshwater source natin may impurity. Okay, so this is the sink composite curve. Okay, and this is the source composite curve. So, uh, in order to illustrate the steps, let's do this example. This is the example that we had earlier, the aniline production. Okay, let's revisit this example. So here we have, remember we have two water sinks, the scrubber and the boiler. And then these two water sinks consume fresh water, right? Right here, fresh water. And we have four water sources. These are the off-gas condensate, aqueous layer, bottoms, and the condensate. So our aim is to identify the minimum freshwater source Okay, minimum fresh water source. And to identify, okay, so yan, the problem statement, minimum fresh water source for the resource conservation network, and to identify the maximum water recovery between the water sinks and sources to help us minimize the waste. Ayan. So, the discharge from the system will be utilizing that for the reuse and recycle of the two sinks for water recovery. Reuse and recycle. So, okay, let's revisit the data that we gathered from last meeting. So, if you remember, this is the data from last time. So the first step is actually if you want to perform a water minimization, the first step is to do some measurement or gather the data. For water sources, we probably have to send them to the laboratory for testing to know the concentration of the impurity. Yeah, so in actual plants, we have to send these water sources, okay, this one, water sources, to the laboratory to determine this concentration right here. Okay, let's proceed with constructing the sink composite curve. Remember, these are the sinks. We just labeled them. Okay. Ito yung sub J, SK1, diba? SK sub J. And this one is SK1, refers to the boiler feed water. Okay? SK2, SK sub 2 refers to the scrubber. Okay? Um, so kanina sa formula, we used Q, but we can also use C for the concentration. And this is the flow rate. Okay, so mainly we just use this table from our data. This is for the SK1 is the boiler feed water, SK2 is the scrubber. Right. We plot first, di ba, ang first step is what? Arrange the sinks in ascending order of their quality levels. So ito 'yon. This is their quality level, meaning the lower the impurity, the higher the quality. So mali. Tama, ascending order. So from 0 to from 0 to 10. Okay, ascending order. So yung high quality nasa basta ascending nung impurity. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng impurity. Okay, ascending. So ito muna and then ito. Yung 10 ppm, ascending order in terms of the impurity. Okay? So first we plot SK1. On this material recovery diagram. Material recovery pinch diagram. So on the left, your vertical axis contains the impurity load. Impurity load in milligram per second. Ayan. So, how do we calculate that? Di ba yung equation kanina, remember, we just simply multiply the flow rate with the concentration. So, for this one, it's 0. For SK2, it's 5.8 times 10, it's 58. Okay, so ito yon. If we plot SK1 on the diagram, 0 siya. Okay, so sa left, sa y-axis, 0 siya, di ba? And then yung x-axis, it refers to the flow rate. So 1.2. Okay, nakaka-catch ba, Crystal?
Yes po.
Okay, so 1.2 dito, ito yon. Pero 0 siya sa y-axis. Now, for the next step, hindi basta-basta mag-start ulit sa origin yung next na curve, yung SK2. Magsa-start siya where SK1 ends. Okay? So for SK2, it will it will have a vertical distance or vertical distance na 58. Ito 'yon, 58. And then it will have a horizontal distance of 5.8. Okay? So ito yon, 'di ba? 7 minus 1.2 is 5.8. So ito, ang distance nito, 5.8. Okay, nagets ba? Ah, okay, so proceed na tayo. So yun yung sink. Nasa sink composite curve pa lang tayo. How about, on the same diagram, no? How about the source composite curve? So, kailangan the same diagram. Very important. Um, so, similar as before, we have to arrange the sources in ascending order of impurity. So, we start with SR1. So, balik tayo sa data. Ayan, naka-arrange na. Naka-arrange na. So, SR1, SR2, SR3, SR4, increasing order of impurity. And then we calculate using the equation yung load possessed of the source. Okay, so kanina kasi yung sink, this is the load acceptable by the sink. Okay, yung acceptable load by the sink, ito load possessed by the source. So, we start with SR1, ayan, we multiply flow rate times concentration, and then SR2, 5 times 14, 70, so on and so forth. So we form um the load possessed by the sources. So next step, we plot, okay, we plot the each source. So using the same procedure. Okay, first we plot SR1, 0 siya on the y-axis. On the x-axis, flow rate 0.8. So 0.8 yan kasi 1 to. Okay, so nasa 0.8. Then SR2, ano siya, 70, 70 on the uh, y-axis, and then 5. So plus 5. So plus 5 dito. So 0.8 plus 5, 5.8 siya dito. And so on and so forth until we are able to plot, okay, the entire source composite curve. Ay, yan. Okay? Nagets ba? So as you can see, yung if we total the load possessed by the sources, 265. So dapat yung final reading dito, it's 265. Okay? So nakuha ba? Important yun na we start with the last curve. So hindi tayo sa origin magsa-start. So we get the horizontal and the vertical distances for each curve. Okay, so 265. And then, ang total flow rate of our sources is 13.1. So, this one should be 13.1. Okay, and the 265. Um, so, for example, uh, wait lang. Okay, game. So, let's look at this point. This is the sink. Okay, the sink curve, diba? So, at this point, uh, in the flow rate 7, the sink only requires the sink can only tolerate 58 a load of 58 milligram per second. Okay, yan. Yan. However, we are if we are feeding water sources directly to the sink, okay, if we're feeding this source directly to the sink, the impurity of the source is 100 milligram per second, which is more than what the sink can tolerate. So this is not good because there's this sink has a limit of 58 milligram per second. So we need to think of a strategy of how to solve this problem. And the easiest way is to fit. okay, to feed. By diluting the wastewater, we can then feed fresh water, okay, feed fresh water here, and also mix fresh water with the impure wastewater to be utilized for the sink. Okay, so um, for source 1, okay, which is a horizontal segment, um, so this is where the fresh water comes in, and what we should do is to, okay, push the whole source composite curve to the right. Okay, so may animation. So we push the composite curve to the right, and we should stop whenever the source composite curve is just on the right hand side of the sink curve. Okay, so nasa just ito yung kung saan sila mag-touch. Okay? And we can see that for this area here, all of the sources here are just below the sink composite curve. Okay, so these sources are below the sink composite curve. So why does it need to be below? In order to satisfy the impurity limit of the sink. Okay, gets ba? So ulitin ko. Remember that this represents right here yung reading on the left hand vertical axis, the maximum acceptable load by the sink curve. Okay, yung color blue. So kanina, uh, initially, in this diagram, hindi pa natin siya na-adjust, na fit. Okay, for this area right here, all of these are above the sink composite curve, meaning their possessed load is above the acceptable limit. Okay, above the acceptable limit of our sinks. So, but when we shift the graph towards the right, okay, just when it touches the sink composite curve, now we have sources that are below, okay, sources that are below the sink composite curve, meaning their impurity are now acceptable. Okay, kasi nasa mas mababa na do sa maximum limit. Gets ba, Crystal?
Yes po.
Okay, so what do we do with this part here? So for this part here, we have no choice but to input fresh water. Okay, yan. So to input, so we have no choice right here but to input the fresh water with zero impurity. Okay, so galing na yun sa lark. Like, kung saan man yung water source. Okay, with zero impurity. So by the way, this point right here where it touches where the two composite curves touch, this is what we call the pinch. Okay. Uh, so so this means when we read this horizontal distance right here, this uh yung the amount of the horizontal shift, 'di ba nag-shift tayo from left to right, the amount of horizontal shift, that means this is where fresh water has to be added. Okay? So this is where the fresh water, so it can be used to dilute the dirty wastewater for recycling. And then this for this region wherein the two may animation ba? Ayan. Wherein the two composite curves overlap would tell us how much water we can recycle. Okay, so that means 4.9 kilogram per second of water can be recycled from the sources to the sink. Okay? Now, what about the rest of this water, of the source, water from the source? This would give us the waste. Okay, this is the waste of the system, wastewater. So wala tayong choice but to send this to the um treatment facility because it's just too dirty for recycling. Okay, gets ba, Crystal?
Yes po.
Now we can do a simple cost saving calculation. Okay. So assuming that the fresh water cost $1 per ton. Okay, and then um the wastewater also cost $1 per ton of treatment. So treating the wastewater costs $1 per ton. So remember, initially we need 7.2 kilograms per second of fresh water. So saan galing tong 7.2? Teka, balik tayo. Yan, sa data. Uh, no, 7 lang to eh. 7. Bakit 7.2? Uh, so initially, in our case study, so we need 6 plus 1.2, 7.2 of fresh water, di ba? So we thought na, ay, we should get that from LARC or the freshwater source. However, because of our case study on the material recovery pinch diagram, we were able to know that actually, okay, we can save 2.1 fresh water. Okay. Um, I mean, we only need 2.1 of fresh water. I guess we only need 2.1. So base from here. And then instead of our wastewater being 13.1, okay, saan galing yung 13.1? Okay, hold on. This one. So remember, when we, dapat waste na to eh. Itong lahat na to. When we add the stream from the sources. So remember, this one, all of these supposedly are wastewater, 13.1. But instead of wasting that, actually we only have 8.2 that are wastewater. Okay, so 8.2 lang talaga yung naging wastewater. So what did we save? How much did we save? So we save buying 4.9 kilogram per second of fresh water. Okay, assuming, so what are the assumptions? So we assume 8,000 operating hours a year. Okay, and incorporating the unit cost, we save 141,000 of fresh water. And we also save treating $141,000 worth of wastewater. Okay, malinaw ba? Kasi supposedly, 'di ba, we're going to treat this value but instead 8.2 lang yung naging wastewater natin. So the difference, yun lang yung kailangan natin i-treat. Yun yung na-save natin from treating. Okay, so um because we're able to recycle 4.9. So equal yung value yan. Na-gets ba, Crystal? So 4.9 yung mare-recycle natin sa ating system. Okay, clear ba?
Yes po.
So when we add those two savings, yan yung total. And this is a very significant value. Kasi on a daily basis, it might not amount to much. But when we're talking about yearly or even in decades of saving, this is a significant value. So if we feel that uh, this is now beneficial, we can move forward to the next stage of planning, which is the designing of the water networks. So later, that's the our second topic. Okay, but before that, let's discuss the significance of the pinch point. Okay. So remember, at first we started with both the sink curve and the source curve. Uh, they're both located or originating from this point, the origin. Okay. However, we push the source curve to the right so that it barely touches the sink curve. And there's a region wherein um, our sources are below, okay, are below the sink. So we can basically divide the diagram into two regions, the higher quality region and the lower quality region. So for the higher quality region, uh, these are where the sources are, um, the water streams are lower than the pinch. Okay. So here we fit in the minimum fresh water required. Okay. So in this region, we do not generate wastewater. How about for the low quality region? Okay. So for the low quality region, um, it will not require any fresh water. So here we will generate wastewater. Okay. So okay. So that ends our discussion for topic for the topic on graphical targeting technique for direct reuse and recycle. So may question ka, Crystal?
And
Oh,
ma'am, pwede po
sige.
pabalik po dun sa last slide.
Ayan.
Bale po ito pong yung source na curve, dapat po didikit siya hindi dun sa araw po nung sink, ano po?
Oo, not the
Okey.
arrow.
So,
Special case to because the last, yan,
ah,
yung last na arrow nung sync, yun ay end niya. But here, as you will notice, this part right here, still below the sink. So we can still utilize this
o
source. Kaya sinabi na minimum waste discharge, ito lang talaga yung waste natin. Mapupunta sa waste. Pero the region right here is still the lower quality region. Oh, okay.
Nice.
And very very good question. So may question ka pa?
Wala naman po. Bale yun lang pong parang okey,
Hmm.
gets ko na po yung paghanap ng pinch.
Okay. So if you will remember sa Chat 32, nagganto rin tayo eh, yung may pinch. Not sure if remember mo. Pero yung heat, ano natin, next topic na yon. Pero it's just amazing that we can utilize kasi it all originated dun sa pinch diagram ng, for heat exchanger network. That's where the pinch methodology originated. But it's just amazing that we can use the same concepts, but in water. Yun. And not just in water, you'll see later on, we can use it in other systems like sa carbon emissions, and they even use it for HR for scheduling, scheduling manpower. So it's a powerful concept that can be applied to any analogous systems. Tapos na-imagine ko tuloy nung unang panahon parang wala pa kasing mga solver, yung optimization software. So, na-imagine ko, ito lang talaga yung ginagamit nila, graphical pinch, for optimization, 'di ba? Kasi ito gives us the minimum fresh resource. And we want to minimize yung consumption natin ng fresh resource and maximize yung amount ng mare-recycle natin. So dati, just a simple graphical tool pero really powerful, especially for industrial people who do not have access to optimization software. Yun. So just my additional insight. Okay? So our next activity, naisip ko ano na lang siya, assignment. I sent you the worksheets. Okay. I sent you the worksheets. So you can do it the same thing that we did today. That's for exercise 1. And then we have another exercise. You can do this on your own then. Okay, and then submit it. Isip ko, next week na lang yung submission. So, ito naman kasi, I will send you the recording so you can follow yung procedure. But for this one, um, ayan, it's a new exercise. Let's check your answer next meeting. Okay? Let's discuss the answer next meeting. Okay? So, sasubmit mo sa akin yung worksheet na yon. Okay lang ba? So, next week,
Okey lang po.
carry naman. Ayun. Tapos, meron ding last, calculate mo din yung cost saving. Hindi ko maalala if nasa worksheet. Let me open the worksheet. Teka, wait lang. Okay. Actually, exercise 2 lang ang i-submit mo. Kasi yun lang yung worksheet. Exercise 2. Ay, hindi pala exercise 1. Sorry. So, exercises 1 and 2. So, pareho palang may worksheet. And then, try to calculate yung cost saving for exercise 2. I will send you the assumption. Wait lang. So, I send you the assumption to be, ayun din, 8,000, let's use the same assumption. Fresh water, $1 per ton, wastewater, $1 per ton, and 8,000 hours per year operating hours. Ayun. So, let's see if you will get the cost saving. Okay? So, pause muna tayo. Break. Let's take a 10-minute break. We'll resume at 2 o'clock for the next topic. Okay?
Okey po.
Sige, see you. Okay, so let's proceed to Unit 3 of Module 1, or in our syllabus, Topic 2C, which is on the network design technique. Okay. In process integration, there are two main steps: targeting, or the predicting stage, and design. So we already did the targeting in the previous meetings or previous lessons. Remember, we started with the process flow diagram, which you will obtain um, from the company or from the industry. And then after that, you will do some data extraction. And finally, for the last step of targeting, you can do the graphical targeting technique, like the previous lesson, wherein we um, graph the sink and source composite curves. Or you may also do some algebraic method, but that algebraic method, we will discuss that later. And the next stage of process integration, we design. Okay, we do the design or the network design. So it's important to have these two different stages, mainly because they can also serve as cross-checking of each other or cross-checking exercise. For example, if in the targeting stage, we concluded that we need like 30, we can do 30% water saving, we need to make sure that the design can actually do a 30% water saving. Okay. So if the fresh water flow rates identified in the design are not the same as with that in the target, it means we have done some mistakes in either the targeting or the design exercises. So I will introduce to you the systematic method called the nearest neighbor algorithm. It has 5 steps, and by following the 5 steps, we will design the water network to achieve the maximum water recovery targets. In step 1, we will arrange all the materials or all the sinks and sources, okay, including the fresh water resource and intercepted sources in descending order of quality levels, respectively. Okay. So it means we start the design from the sink of highest quality. Next, in step or highest, this should be start from the, that means we'll start from the lowest concentration. Okay. To the highest concentration. So for step 2, we'll match the sink and the sources of the same quality level if there are any found. So at the same level, we can match the sink and source directly. So if we don't find a single sink or a source or a sink of the same concentration level, that's okay because we can mix two sources to fulfill the flow rates and the quality requirement of the sink. So this is step 3. Um, so we have two equations right here. Uh, Two simultaneous equation that we need to solve in order to know the flow rates for the sources. Okay, sources. First is the flow rate requirement equation, and second is the quality requirement. So by the way, when we mix the two sources, one source should be immediately lower and the other source should be immediately higher. So later we will demonstrate this. So medyo abstract pa right now because we're just dealing with equations. Um, s- so there, we use the system of equations. Okay. So dito kasi it's just a flow rate. So dito when we multiply, remember, so that gives us the mass flow rate. So let's demonstrate it. Okay, let's demonstrate it in this diagram. Since I mentioned that two neighbors need to be mixed with just one higher and one lower concentration compared to the sink. Okay. So they are the nearest available neighbors, quote unquote, to the sink, wherein this is the concentration of the sink. One source should be lower, one source should be higher. So for example, we have 3 sources with impurity level of 0, 80, and 100. And we have a sink with um, maximum load requirement of 50 ppm. Okay. So if we follow the rules of the nearest neighbor algorithm, what are the two sources that we should mix? What do you think?
Yung pong SR1 at saka SR2.
Two. Okay, very very good. So yung dalawa, very good. And this one we should not utilize. But we might need it later sa other sinks. Okay. We might need, but not for the sink. So we might use this for other sinks, but not for the sink. Ayan. So we will mix this two sinks to get the uh 50 ppm. So we will use, so right now there's no flow rate yet. So later with, let's demo that with the flow rate. How about for this one? Okay. What should be the two sources that we can mix?
Yung pong source 2 at saka yung 3.
Okay, very good. So source 2 and source 3. So merong source 1, we can use it for other sink. Other sinks. Okay. So when the calculated source is located from wait lang. So for example, we used up the uh, nearest neighbors of the sink. We already used up. What should we do? So we can get a new pair of neighbors to fulfill the flow rate, flow rate requirement of the sink. So let's have an example. So sink with a maximum load requirement of 50 ppm and flow rate requirement of 100 tons per hour. And then we have the following sources. We have source 1, 0 ppm, 1. So this is the example from the previous slide, no? And we know that ito yung nearest neighbor, yung SR2 and SR3. So we have to use SR2 and SR3. However, SR2 only has 20 tons per hour and SR3 has 50 tons per hour. And when we add that, obviously it's insufficient. Okay? So and um we also need uh we need to mix 0 and ayan, so insufficient. So hold on, wait lang. Okay, let's resume. This is not the same example as the previous. So this is an entirely new example. So for this one, 50 ppm, what's the nearest neighbor? Ito, 'di ba? SR1 and SR2. So SR1 and SR2, we need 1:1 ratio of the flow rates from SR1 and SR2 because one has 0 ppm, one has 100 ppm. So to get a 50 ppm, we need 1:1, right? Para when we combine it, it will be 50 ppm. Tama?
Opo.
However, the problem is SR2 is just 20 tons per hour flow rate. So we completely use up source 2, okay? And we have to find a new pair. So after we use up source 2, we have to find a new pair. So that is where uh source 3 comes in. Okay? So that's for now, let's park the idea of uh, finding a new pair and the nearest neighbor. So step 5, we have to repeat steps 2 to 4 for all the sinks. And once the sinks are fulfilled, the unutilized sources are discharged as waste. Okay. So again, a reminder, we always start from the cleanest to the second cleanest, then to the dirtiest. So let's uh, do an example. So this is from Polly and Polly to illustrate how we do the nearest neighbor algorithm in a water network design. So um okay, so okay. So for this one, we skip the targeting step. Okay, but if we do the material recovery pinch diagram, from there we would know that the freshwater flow rate requirement is 70 tons per hour and the wastewater is 50 tons per hour. The pinch is at 150 ppm. So we have four sources and four sinks. Okay, given their flow rates and concentrations. So we arrange from this is already arranged from the cleanest to the dirtiest concentration. Okay, so let's do this. You can also open the worksheet, although medyo mahirap siguro pagsabihin, but you can practice with me as we go along. We will design the water network. So again, for this example, we just skip the targeting stage, pero when we do that, I think ito yata yung ano, ay hindi, yung exercise 2. Hindi yata. So just let's see. Um, but given na yung ano, freshwater flow rate and wastewater from the targeting stage. Okay, so we arrange the sinks from cleanest to dirtiest. So tama. Ito yun. Sinks from 20, 50, 100, 200. We arrange the sources from cleanest, the same, cleanest to dirtiest. And then here is the freshwater source from, for example, from Lark, our favorite example. Okay, so freshwater source. And from the targeting stage, we identified that we just need we need 70 tons per hour. Okay, so let's cross check with our design if that's true. 70 tons per hour. Okay, so since the consent okay, wait lang. Uh, okay, let's start with sink 1. Sink 1 has a concentration requirement or maximum load requirement of 20 ppm and flow rate requirement of 50 tons per hour. So that means if we multiply, that is 1,000, ano bang unit ito? So 50, anyway yan, that's the load. Let's figure out the unit later. Um, so among the sources, we can see that there's no, hello Crystal, are you there?
Yes po.
Ayan, there's no source with a concentration of 20 ppm. Diba? Wala. 50 agad. So what would be the nearest neighbors for sink 1? This, diba, ang rule is one should be lower, one should be higher than 20 ppm. So obviously, the lower would be our freshwater source, diba? With 0
Mm.
ppm. Okay, so and then
Okay.
the higher is the 50 ppm. So
Mm.
these are the nearest neighbors for sink 1. So we plug in into the two equations. Hindi ko na ipapakita pero we plug in these two equations to know yung F. Okay, to know yung F. So, given to, concentration of the sink 1, feed water, 0. Concentration of source 1, 50. And then, ito yung sa sink, 20, at saka yung flow rate. May two equations to unknown yun to know itong flow rates na yan. Okay, gets mo?
Opo.
So, you just use the two equations. So, after using the two equations, we get that feed what for fresh water, ito yung requirement niya, 30. And this one, 20 to achieve yung 20 ppm. Okay?
Yes po.
So, it tallies because 20 plus 30 and 50 ppm. Then, it will also achieve yung, 20 plus 30, 50 tons per hour. Then, it will also achieve yung 20 ppm requirement if you check sa equation. Okay? Next. Okay na yung sink 1. Our next sink is sink 2. So by the way, our remaining fresh water would now be 70 minus 30. So 40 na lang yung natitira nating fresh water. Okay, so let's proceed with sink 2.
Mm.
For sink 2, what's the nearest neighbor? So 50 ppm. 50
Yes
ppm.
po.
So ano yung nearest neighbor? Ay, ang first rule
Mm.
pala, if meron kang kapareho, 'di ba? Yun ang mas superior do sa nearest neighbor. Remember? Teka, balikan natin sa
Opo.
slide. Ayan, number 2, 'di ba? So meron bang kapareho?
Yung source 1,
Yeah, so very good. Source 1. And so by the way, ilan na lang yung remaining ng source 1?
30 na lang po. 30
Okay.
tons per hour.
So, very good. We'll use up the 30 tons per hour. We'll use up completely kasi kapareho na siya eh, 50 ppm. So, what about the remaining 70 ton per hour requirement of sink 2? Doon papasok yung nearest
Step 4.
neighbor. Yes, very good. A very good, Crystal. So, next, ano ang nearest neighbor niya?
Yung source 2 at saka yung fresh water.
Ayun, tama. So, kasi naubusan natin si source 1, so fresh water, tsaka source 2. So, utilizing the system of equations kanina to find the two unknowns which are the flow rate, ito yung ma-find out mo. So, tama naman, di ba? Kasi 70 yung remaining, 0 ppm, 100 ppm, so dapat 1:1 sila to get 50 ppm. Tama?
Yes po.
Ayan. So, yan. 35 dito. 35 sa fresh water. So, that means, ilan na lang ang remaining fresh water?
5
5
tons
na
na lang.
lang. 5 na, tama. Tapos dito, 65. 65 na lang. Okay. So, next, napindot ko agad. Sink 3, 100 ppm. So, ano yung nearest neighbor?
Yung source 2. Kasi match naman.
Tama. So, source 2, and may leftover tayong 65. Kasi yung 35 napunta dito. So, lahat yon mapupunta na kay sink 3. And then, ano yung kailangan pa nating fulfill? 15, di ba? 15 tons per hour pa para maging 80. What's the nearest neighbor?
Yung source 3 at saka po yung fresh water.
Source 3 at saka fresh water. Yan. So, using the two equations, two unknowns, we can then calculate for the required flow rate. So, of course, pala, we limit yung fresh water sa 5 because yun na lang yung available. So, um, we solve for SR3. Pero sakto na to, naging 18 na. Mukhang sakto-sakto yung example. Yeah. So, na-fulfill na si SK3. Finally, SK4, ano na lang siya, 200 ppm. So, what's the nearest neighbor?
Yung source 3 at saka po safe 4.
So, may natira pa ba sa source 3? Meron pa, di ba? 60. Okay, so using the two equations, two unknowns, we calculate the required amount, and that is tag 35. So, tama naman. Gitna ng 150, 250, 200. So, 1:1. Okay? So, yan. Ano yung final step dun sa nearest neighbor? Sa, tama, algorithm. Unutilized sources are discharged as waste. Tingnan natin. Ano yung unutilized sources? So, dito, 45, may 25 pa. And then dito, may 25 din. Ayun. So, merong waste na 25. Tingnan natin. Nag-match kaya with our material recovery pinch diagram na given? So, remember, ito yung from material recovery diagram, this is the wastewater. So, nag-match siya. Galing, no? So, meron tayong fresh water and then wastewater na 50. Ayun. Okay. So, anong next? Tapos na. Tapos na yung lesson. Ang next na ay exercise. Let me see first yung sa worksheet. Wait lang. Let me see the worksheet kung ano yung exercise. Worksheet 2. Tama. Worksheet 2. Yung worksheet 2, ito yung ginawa natin. O parang, pwede mong ring ulitin on your own. And then yung
Parang
work...
hindi po kayo naka-share screen.
Ay, oo. Teka. Share. Share. Ito yung worksheet 1. Worksheet 2. Tama, di ba? Ito yung ginawa natin. So, anuhin mo lang. To solve mo lang din on your own. Pero, pwede mong balikan yung video. Eh. Tapos, itong worksheet 3, ito yung bago. Okay. Ba't kaya pareho yung page? Pareho lang yata yung page 1 at 2. Please check. Alternative network. Okay. Sige. Let me check lang ha. Wait lang. Stop share ako. May alternative network. Yung exercise na to ay, ito yung sinolve natin na sa targeting stage, yung aniline production. Sige, ang required lang na is i-solve mo on your own. Wait lang, share ako ulit. Ito lang page 1. For next week, ito, page 1. And then, itong alternative network design, hindi required. So, next week, we'll discuss yung answer dito do sa dalawang exercises. Okay? Ayan. So, that ends our lecture on graphical targeting and water network design. Okay, stop ko na yung recording.